We all praise Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bashem Makakadash. Honors elders, men, and the truth on down, relating to truth and knowledge, relating to truth and knowledge, so we know it's truth and knowledge, and the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahshua put spirit, elders, apostles, men, and truth on down, relating to this truth and knowledge, so we know this truth and knowledge, and call Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bashem Makakadash. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahshua Bashem Makakadash. This is a YON video relating to new U.S. Army video aims to lure recruits. United States of America has released an unusual video aiming to lure recruits for psychological operation. This is the second provocative recruiting ad that exemplifies the work of the psyop. The psyop is what? Psychological operations. Soldiers do to influence public opinion and wage war are words overseas, with haunting images, faceless people, fire, and soldiers. The U.S. Army psychological warfare soldiers are using their brand of mental combat training to bring in recruits. So it's a form of a psyop, man. You know, a psychological tactic to lure in recruits, man. You know what I mean? It really is a psychological aspect relating to their counterparts, which is the adversary, form of a psychological or psyop of intimidation, man. You know what I mean? By the use of different things, with the use of creatively technology and different things. Let's get to the video.
Provocative recruiting ad that exemplifies the work the psyops soldiers do to influence public opinion and wage the war of words overseas. With haunting images of faceless people, fire, and soldiers, the U.S. Army psychological warfare soldiers are using their brand of mental combat training to bring in recruits they require for the service. Asked about the thought process of the video, the Army major created and said, and I'm quoting, "It is a recruiting video. Someone watches it and thinks, wow, this is effective. How was it constructed? That is the kind of creative mindset we are looking for." Psyop units are used for annual functions that range from simple influential jobs to sophisticated and messaging and deceiving. The Army Special Operations Command leaders and Special Forces recruiters hope the video will bring recruits for an often unseen job. The armed services are reportedly struggling to meet ambitious most for far short periods in recent years. Recruiters are for the psychological operation troops and young people, while the rest are recruited from the Army's existing ranks that poses another body. These days, regular soldiers in the Army have less interaction with special operations understand psyop work. The new recruiting video is also aimed at tackling this issue. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our
That was a WION report. So that was a video relating to haunting images of using psychological operation tactics. Pretty much, they call it the Ghost and the Machine 2. You know what I mean? Pretty much showing of war and different things. You know. Let me look up that word, psychological operations. And also with that psychological operations is to instill a certain relating to how the public opinion views and feels about certain things, man. So that relates to this tactics too as well, man. You know, and also controlling, creating a narrative to control upon that same public of opinion, man, as well, man. Psychological, let me see. Operations. psychological operation, which is the psyop, operations to convey selected information, and that selected information is really relating to information that's pre-programmed, pre-selected, relating to, and that goes with the narrative they're trying to push, relating to the information upon public opinion, man. You know what I mean? Indicators to influence, indicators to audience to influence their motives and objectives and reasoning. That goes with the also relating to the emotion to stimulate a certain response relating to that from the psychological, mental, and other aspect, man. That's why it's a psychological warfare. Let me say. So using this video is trying to create that narrative upon the public opinion in matter of speaking. Such as this war thing, you know what I mean? Let me see. Let's see what other definition. Merriam-Webster, let me see what this says on this. Military operation usually aims at influencing enemy state of mind. So it's really, that's also relating to pretty much a form of a psychological tactic against the adversary as well, man. Psychological relates to that intimidational aspect as well, through non-combative means, such as distribution of leaflets, man. You know what I mean? Videos. Non-combative means using this videos, haunting images. So that would be a form of non-combative means as well, man. Government use of a person or phenomenon to influence the population's opinion and attitude. That's the masses, man. Holy poly. You know what I mean? The masses, the herd population, pretty much the masses of people, the inhabitants, man. To invoke relating to a response, relating to emotionally, psychologically, and different other aspects. Number 2, government use a person or phenomenon to influence a population's opinion and attitudes, man. So that would be, we'll get a scripture. Scripture says, Sirach 5:15. Don't be ignorant in matters, large or small. That's the CAB, which is Contemporary English Bible Amplified, I believe. That's what that stands for. I'll read it from the KJV. Be not ignorant of anything in great matter or small. And that means in general, man. In general. Let me see what we got here. Let me get Ecclesiastes 7:7. Get it from regular KJV. Let me get it from a different one. See what NIV says. Extortion turns a wise person to a fool. And really, extortion goes to oppression. And a bribe corrupts the heart, which is the mind. A bribe. And that bribe would be a form of that gift, man. Let me get it from another one. Let's see what it says from another one. See what the NLT stand for, National New Living Translation, I think. Seven and 7, same thing. Extortion turns a wise person to fools, and that wise person relates to making them mad. And bribes corrupts the heart, and that bribe is a gift which corrupts the heart, which is the mind. KJV. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad. So oppression, or extortion, oppression in this case, makes a wise man mad, turns him mad. And a gift destroyeth the heart which is his mind. A gift be a form of a bribe, you know what I mean? Or, for example, something that make it look like that's beneficial, but actually it's not, you know what I mean? So let me see what we got here. We got we'll go to some news. It was an article relating to seizing over 350 billion relating to the Western, assets and different businesses that Russia had. Ceasing that, so Russia wasn't too happy with that. They try to use that. The Western try to use that for appropriate, means as necessary. And you have was that the CB 367 talk about Canada. I've seen it relating to Canada will relating to the Bible. Canada will imprison ones relating to the Bible. Let me see if I still had that article. Relating to this, Canada will imprison anyone who has posted relating to hate speech online. That's the Bill C-63. And even passed before this bill was operated, as Man True was saying, if you had before that, they can do something against you too, man. You know what I mean? Before this came in legislation, like say certain controversial content, man. Who they deem as HS, which is hate speech. They can it could be consequences for that, man. So this relates to people's voice. Pretty much that Orwellian, going back to 1984, that book, totalitarianism, different things, tyranny, oppression, upon the population, the society. The book goes back in 1949, summer of 1949, that book. So that draconian measure, the scripture talks about that we speak as a lamb, but like a lamb, but he comes like a dragon. So that dragon is that draconic law. It's in Revelation 13. So he's going to come with a more authoritarian type, aggressive manner, man. And that goes to the draconian law, man. Let me see. Some of the consequences could be fine, jail, different things. For what? For pretty much controversial content on internet. So that's in Canada. So they can move towards here. There could be something potentially that could come here. You know what I mean? So these other places, as a starting or testing ground, can be ultimately, where it can follow suit in other places, man. I'll give a few scriptures relating to this. Let me see. Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, statute laws, and decrees, man, policies, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So they're grievous to the majority of people that they prescribed. And turn aside the needy from judgment, and take away the right from the poor of my people. And so that's the goals, man. The 1% of the population controls these unstatute decrees and laws, you know what I mean, against the 99% who have to, they're subjected to them, you know what I mean. Scripture talks about the rich rule over the poor, and the poor is a servant to the lender. Proverbs 22 and 18:23 talks about the poor uses it. The poor uses entreaties, but the rich answer roughly, man. So the poor are at the mercy of what? Of the rich, the ones in power, man, because they control policy, laws, decrees, statutes. The earth has been given. Scripture talks about Job 9:24. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. So let me read number 2. Turn aside the needy from the judgment, and take away the right from the poor. So they taking away the rights of the poor, man, by these unrighteous decrees, these laws, statutes, and policies, which actually is supposed to benefit the 99%, not go against them, man. And may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless, man. Proverbs 29:2, man. Let's go to it. Proverbs 29:2. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. So the wicked are in a position of power, man. So the people are mourning, man. You know what I mean? So the people are mourning. Part of that mourning is through things they do, man. Such as what? The unrighteous decrees, laws, statutes, and different things they're going to... so the people are mourning relating to the unfairness of the laws, the statute, decrees. And when the wicked bear rule, people are mourning. The earth is mourning. Person placing things on the earth is mourning. So they're in a position of power, man. Remember, the scripture talks about Job 9:24. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. So if what's in the hands of the wicked is the power, using the sword. Scripture talks about, go to Revelation 6:4, man. Revelation 6:4. Go straight to the point. Revelation 6:4. There went out another horse that was red, and the power was given to him that sat on to take peace from the earth, using the sword, man. So that peace, take that peace from the earth. That's why the people are mourning. Proverbs 29:2. And they that should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. His blessing is the sword, and by thy sword thou shalt live. Go to Genesis what? 25. You know what I mean? By thy sword thou shalt live, man. Let me see. Let me get it. Yeah, Shalach 27. 27. 25 talk about it, but 27 and 40 exactly. You can go up a few verses up talking about, talking about Esau. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. So by thy sword, that's his blessing. The sword is his blessing. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, the dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew heaven above. So all the means and resources on earth is Esau's, man. That's why the power has been given to his hand, man. That includes everything, man. So And by the sword, he will take what he wants, man. You know what I mean? So his sword comes in different many manners. Some of it is physical, some of it is through policies, laws, decrees, man. And that's part of that, relating to that article, that People's Live, that's part of that sword, man. You know what I mean? Through the pen and paper, the laws, the statute and decrees, man. The unrighteous decrees. And the scripture says they're grievous to whom they prescribe. So whom they for, they're grievous to. That goes to mourning and they're grievous, man. Let's get some more news, man, real quick. That was this few two right there. Let's go to because that goes to censorship. That goes to taking away freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, to have freedom of speech relating to freedom of assembly and religion. And it's censorship, man. And like I said, you never had freedom of speech. You know what I mean? That's only an illusion. That's only an illusion of it, man. You know, if it goes contrary to to the narrative, you really don't have freedom of speech. As long as it fits to a certain narrative, then you have freedom of speech. But especially on these privately platforms, you don't have freedom of speech. Because if they don't like it, you know, what they deem as misinformation or controversial content, they're going to cut it or take it off, man. So freedom of speech is very, 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 very limited in that aspect. Let me see. Let's go back to some news. Let's see what's on the Wyoming. Wyoming. Okay, with the censorship and different things, it's going to come to other things they're going to start taking. Gun rights, different things. This is just a small stepping stone, incrementally, that they're doing, relating to taking away people's different things, man, relating to that. And most Americans are too invested in their own little bubble, meaning they're too focused in their own bubble of life, man, oblivious to really what's going on, man. So they have no idea, man. Majority of the people. So they don't see these things, man. The obvious, man. I'm gonna go see what they have relating to news. This is Wyoming here, and let me see. You're seeing videos relating to central bank. I believe Russia's selling off American assets as well. I've seen that somewhere. You know what I mean? Then you have Russia massive airstrike in weeks hit Ukraine power grid. That's what that was talking about, that power grid being put out. So yeah, Russia's massive airstrike. So the power grid, they were in the dark, man. That's a Russian report. That's Russia-Ukraine relating to Wyoming report. You have let me see what other stuff we have. "8 hours, TikTok sues the U.S. to block potential ban." So TikTok's going to sue the owner, which is BitDance, I think. He's going to sue U.S. relating to this potential ban relating to what it wants to do. Michigan declares a state of emergency over what tornado damage. The tornado's been moving across the central area. Weather. Also, U.S. is holding up relating to shipment to Israel, and Israel say a downplays relating to the U.S. arms shipment holdup. Scripture talks about let's get Matthew 12 and 25 real quick. There's a few scriptures relating to these correlating with these reports. (12 and 25). Yahushua knew their thoughts, which goes to their imagination, their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city and house is divided against itself, and shall not stand. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So it's not going to stand if it's divided, man. It's going to fall, man. And also scripture says, Jeremiah talking about Jeremiah 51 and 7. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. Scripture says, arise, Micah 2 and 10, arise, for this is not a place of your rest. Arise, for this is not a place of your rest. It shall destroy you. It is corrupted, even with a sore destruction. So flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. So don't get caught up in her iniquity, which is her sin. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, man. And that's part of that recompense, man. Because of his indignation and vengeance upon what? Babylon. And he will render into her a recompense. Pretty much her reward relating to judgment, man. Number 7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken through the ideologies, the policies, statute, decrees, laws, different things, the Western way, Western philosophy pushed upon these other nations, man. Even sanctions, opposing sanctions, a form of international and global bullying upon these other nations. And what's these nations, how they feel about it? I'll read again. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. They're mad, man. Related to policies, the Western policies, part of those policies, and forms of strategical, political, militarily tactics relating to sanctions and different things. So the nations are becoming mad, man. They feel in a certain way. In Israel and these other nations, ultimately, they're going to feel a certain way related to Babylon. Even Israel. So they say they downplaying certain things. So they making light of it, man. Playing damage control. And from the optics, they trying to, give the illusion or optics of appearance everything is not that serious, man. That's that downplaying, man. Let me see. Go to you have some more news. Let's see what we got here. You had Express airline chaos. Nearly 300 crew on the relating to Indian Airlines, I believe, in Canada, whatever. Mass sick leave. More than 80 flights canceled. So you had cancellation on these flights. You have issues with these flights, airplanes and different things, mechanical, technical issues on these flights. Let me see. You're having continuous storms all over the place, all moving across the country. Tornadoes, Midwest. So this is various reports. The Indian Express canceled 70 flights due to alleged crew protest. It talks about the course of action shall be taken in their hands. They should not regard the kings and princes, man. You know, social, political, financial, economical, various issues that people understand. Protest is part of that. Let me see. So this is just a few reports relating to that. So let's see. I want to give all praise Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Makakadash. I hope this helps relating to information about certain things. This is Zayah Wolf. I hope it helps. Shalom.